welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Katharine, and in today's video we're going book shopping for the first time in 2025. Since I am going book shopping for the first time in the year 2025, I really wanted to bring you along with me because, first of all, I love book shopping, and I also love bringing you along with me as if you're my friends. So I hope you enjoy watching these types of videos. I've made book shopping videos before and I really enjoyed them, and I've heard great feedback of you all enjoying it as well, so I'm glad to hear that. Today we're going to a Christian bookstore called Heritage House. It's in Brockton, Massachusetts. It's very far and few between to find Christian bookstores here in New England, because New England, if you didn't already know, is very spiritually dead. A lot of people in New England will say that they're Catholic. I put that in air quotations because they're nominally Catholic. I don't know if that's the correct terminology of it, if I'm pronouncing that correct, but essentially I call them CEOs, Christmas and Easter only. And sometimes these people who say that they're Catholic don't even go to church on Christmas and Easter. They don't even go to church at all. They just say Catholic, or that they're Catholic, just as like an identity thing. They may have grown up in the Catholic Church as like a child, and then they kind of just stopped going as adults, and it's kind of sad, but it's the truth. I hope Jesus does make a comeback here in New England, because we do have a lot of like old historical churches here, but they're almost like museums now. They're not even like really practicing churches. I mean, they do hold like services and stuff like that, but it's just sad how like archaic they are, and like it's almost, like I said, like a museum. Almost like people will visit them because they're so pretty, but no one really is like a true member of the church, if that makes sense. Or if there is like a true membership, it's like very small. But yeah, just pray for that, like that New England has like some sort of revival, like that Jesus comes back. But you know, that's all under God's sovereignty. But anyways, back to what this video is really about. I'm going to Heritage House in Brockton, Massachusetts, a Christian bookstore, like I mentioned before. I'm really excited to be going today. It's going to be my first time visiting this specific Christian bookstore. I have gone to one other Christian bookstore in the New England area before called Morning Star, and that's a little bit closer to where I live. And Heritage House is a little bit further from me. It's about an hour and a half away. I don't mind driving that far as long as it's a good bookstore. If you have any other like Christian bookstore recommendations in the New England area, please let me know, because the only Christian bookstores that I've researched into is Morning Star and Heritage House, and I've been to Morning Star before, and I'm going to Heritage House today, so I'd love to discover more Christian bookstores in like the New England area. I honestly don't mind making the drive as long as it's worth it to me. But yeah, I'm really excited to be going today, and I hope you enjoy coming along with me, because I enjoy making these types of videos like I mentioned before. So let's head there now. Can I get a hot coffee with the cinnamon hazelnut flavor in it? A medium?
A medium cinnamon hazelnut, regular cream and sugar?
Sure, yes.
Anything else?
That's it.
You can have those.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just paid $365.
Awesome.
Be right on up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, come down. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
cute in here. I just was looking around. They actually have these like tables and chairs in this like used books section. Those are the used books behind me, and I'm getting like 3 books today, I believe. So the first one here is by Jamie Jo Wright. I've heard really good things about her. She's a Christian fiction like thriller suspense writer, if I'm not mistaken, and this is called The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater. And what it says here on the back, I'm just going to read it because I'm really bad at describing books when I haven't read them yet. I'm trying to be better about that, but let me just read the synopsis on the back of the book for you. It says, Barlow Theater stole the life of Greta Mercy's eldest brother during its construction. Now, in 1915, the completed theater appears every bit as deadly. When Greta's younger brother goes missing after breaking into the building, Greta engages the assistance of a local police officer to help her unveil the already ghostly secrets of the theater. But when help comes from an unlikely source, Greta decides that to save her family, she must uncover the evil that haunts the theater and put its threat to rest. Decades later, Kit, Boyd's best friend, vanishes during a ghost walk at the Barlow Theater, and old stories of mysterious disappearances and ghoulish happenings are revived. Then, television ghost hunting host and skeptic Evan Fisher joins Kit in the quest to identify the truth behind the theater's history. Kit reluctantly agrees to work with him in hopes of finding her missing friend. As the theater's curse unravels Kit's life, she is determined to put an end to the evil that has marked the theater and their hometown for the last century. So essentially what it sounds like is like a dual timeline, and from what I've heard, Jamie Jo Wright does dual timelines, which I'm interested in because I love historical fiction in general, so that'll be cool to read about. I'm not like a huge thriller person, just because a lot of the thriller books that I have read in the past have had a lot of demonic undertones, but I'm assuming since this is more of like suspense rather than thriller, I mean, I guess it could be considered a thriller if you really wanted it to be, but because Jamie Jo Wright is apparently a Christian author and she obviously writes Christian fiction, I'm assuming it's not going to really have a lot of demonic undertones. I mean, of course, like, it has to do with like this theater that's apparently haunted, but like, we'll really see about that. Like, we'll see how this goes when I do read it. So I'm excited for this, and just in what I'm trying to say is like, I'm trying to see what I enjoy and like if I'll enjoy Christian thrillers rather than just like secular thrillers. And for those who don't know, like, I've been making like a huge switch in terms of like reading secular fiction versus Christian fiction. I'm trying to read more Christian fiction rather than secular fiction is what I'm trying to say. And although I'm not like totally like casting off secular fiction, like, I'm gonna try to like read the majority of Christian fiction. And then the second book that I'm wanting to get today is called Hope Like Wildflowers by Pepper Basham. I've heard nothing but great things about Pepper Basham, and this is actually on sale for $11.97, which is great. Let me just read the back of this book for you, the synopsis, so that you get a better idea of what this is about. I believe it's another historical fiction book. Christian historical fiction, I should say. So let me just read this. It says, Kizzy McAdams spent her childhood longing to see beyond her secluded Blue Ridge mountain home. But when her job as a servant in a landowner's house results in an unplanned pregnancy, the excitement of her new life dissolves into alienation and heartbreak. Her father disowns her, the father of her child gives inconsistent affection and broken promises, and the matriarch of the area is determined to distance Kizzy from her son by any means necessary. Despite the kindness of a local family, Kizzy realizes she and her newborn son must start over somewhere else, so she flees to a nearby town. But her new world carries many of the prejudices as the old. It also brings the unexpected friendship of businessman Noah Lewis, a man who lives with the same desire as Kizzy for helping the marginalized. Unfortunately, Kizzy and Noah's attempts to help those in need pit them against Noah's elder brother, a powerful mill owner who controls the family finances. Is Kizzy and Noah's growing romance strong enough to overcome family power, social expectations, and Kizzy's past? And when Kizzy's first love returns to claim her, which future will she choose? That sounds really interesting. As you couldn't already tell, like, I'm a huge historical fiction reader, if that makes sense. Like, I like secular historical fiction, but like, I would love to get more into like Christian historical fiction, just because of like the values behind it, of it being Christian fiction, if that makes sense. And then the third book that I'm getting actually is by Karen Kingsbury. I have read a few of Karen Kingsbury's books before, which is the Redemption series by her. It's like a 5-book series about the Boucher family, and the Boucher family is like a huge thing for Karen Kingsbury. She like writes multiple series and multiple books about the Bousters, and I have a few books at home actually by Karen Kingsbury about the Boucher family. And like I just mentioned, I read the Redemption series, which is a 5-book series by her about the Bousters. But there's plenty of more books about the Bousters that I still need to read that are at home and that I still need to buy. And then this book is actually in the Boucher family like universe, if I can call it that. It's the first book in the Fame series. Oh no, the Firstborn series. I'm mistaken. It's called the Firstborn series. This is the first book in that series. It's called Fame by Karen Kingsbury. And essentially this is like an offshoot of the Redemption series. This is like another series that you would have to read after the Redemption series, because this is about one of the sons, like the long lost sons of the Bousters. So I don't want to give too much away because it would be spoilers. You do have to read the Redemption series in order to get to this series. It's all within the Boucher universe, the Boucher family universe, I should say. And like I mentioned, it's about like this long lost son that they had, and I'm not gonna say any more than that because I believe that's like even a spoiler within itself, me describing it that way. But basically I think this is also like a 4 or 5 book series as well, and it's about the son of the Boucher family, and he is like a celebrity, and it's about him and his life. And I'm really excited to get to this. This is the first book in that series. I didn't see that in the used book section, like the entire series. I just saw the first book in the series in the used book section. But yeah, those are the 3 books that I'm gonna get today, and I'm really excited to buy them and bring them home with me and eventually read them. But yeah, that's my bookstore vlog. I know it was short and sweet, but I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you have any Christian bookstore recommendations that I can go to in the New England area, please let me know, because I'm always looking for Christian bookstores to go to in the New England area. And if there's any Christian fiction books that you have recommendations for, please let me know, because like I mentioned before, I have made a recent change of like reading majority secular fiction books to Christian fiction books. So I'm needing a lot of recommendations of what I could possibly read in like the future in terms of Christian fiction. So drop any recommendations down in the comments below. Thank you again for watching this video. Do all the YouTube things that you know how to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!